I still want to watch it from a distance. And when the time is right, if the time is ever right, then I'll introduce myself. You know what I'm saying?
So I just looked it up. It's $400 now.
Man,
so
I told you he got the numbers. He got the numbers.
No, because it's like he cared enough.
Man. You make somebody hate a movie.
No.
We're just gonna start this shit live.
That's why I said I'm mad that I liked it. Like I'm really pissed.
He's Chinese.
Welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast.
You know but it was like it's fun. It's like an Easter egg. It's like, oh, it worked out. Like, you know.
Yeah, I didn't think it was necessary to we didn't need to do holiday specific movies, but the fact that just movies that you're thankful that are in our life.
All right, you ain't got to get defensive, Sarat.
Cool.
He's like, I didn't think it was necessary, motherfucker.
First of all, you're Dominican with a little mini baseball bat, but I'm pretty sure that's a teriyaki stick. So
I got two of them.
That's his size chopstick.
That's no, this is actually when I broke my dick. They had to set it with a brace. So
he out there hunting raccoons. Like, oh, we gonna do dinner.
Have you seen a raccoon? No, I'm shooting a raccoon, I'm not hitting it with a little stick.
But what you afraid of a raccoon for?
I'm afraid of any marsupial / rodent that look like that could give me AIDS.
Yeah, they probably look at you saying the same thing.
I know I can't give them AIDS. They can't I don't know about them.
Go take a bite out of the fur.
Nah.
Yeah. Get some nice coon skin, hat. You're looking like Davy Crockett.
I got one. I ain't got a hat. I got some coon skin.
Oh,
I'm so serious. I do.
That's funny. No, but it's like, have you seen an armadillo? You live in Florida. You've had to see an armadillo.
Plenty of them.
Them shits are scary up front, bro. Like a real, not up front, but like up close. I was like, what the fuck is that? Look like a mini tank.
They are armadillos. They look like Pokemon. Like you see one in person, you were like, oh, that's. And where's Ash Ketchum when you need him?
Until they make a noise, and you're like, God damn! My dog. We were walking my dog into my in-laws' house in Florida, and I just came up on one, and then my dog PJ was like. Then he looked at me and I was like, I don't know what the shit that is. we just bolted.
We used to get them in the neighborhood all the time. We be walking the dogs in the morning. The armadillos be in the bushes just eating shit. With that being said, welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast featuring Marcos. It's your boy Sarat, aka Makazi.
It's your boy Marcos, aka At the Sunset Kid 5'6".
And your boy Chris Brown, aka Red 4 Delta. How's everybody doing out there?
Well, before we get started, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you haven't told anybody yet about the podcast, please do. Send them an episode. Send them your favorite episode. Maybe comment down, tell us what movies you want us to watch. Maybe we should do that next month. We should, have a couple of episodes where we do, fan interaction and have them pick the movies for the month. But
just send them a clip, whether it's Chicken Dicks or, Uncle Ruckus.
Yeah. If you're following us on Instagram or Twitter or TikTok, just like, subscribe, tell everybody about us. We're trying to grow this thing out. All right. So with that being said, Chris, you're up to bat this week, and the movie you picked, it surprised me that you picked it, but it was a nice surprise.
Wow.
Yeah, I would have lost the bet. I thought it was gonna be Boys in the Hood, or Diary of a Mad Black Woman. One of those.
I'll be honest. I thought it was gonna be an animated movie.
Honestly, I went back and forth between two, and the first one was Sandlot.
Okay.
And then this one, because Sandlot to me is a childhood classic, for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. So why don't you let people know what movie you picked or you picked this week?
Movie I picked this week. Well, first off, sorry I missed last week. If y'all watched the episode. And y'all caught my last little 2 minutes. I had to go get some work done.
You had to get some hormone shots.
Yeah, the wife was feeling like she was being neglected, so I had to go do some things. No, I'm joking, but I had to just go get some help. That's all. But movie I picked this week. One of my favorite movies, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Right.
And if the theme is movie I'm thankful for, I picked this movie because it meant more to me as an adult than a childhood movie would as a kid. So that's what this was.
Oh, you're gonna have to elaborate on that Because it sounded like a very deep like reason, but you didn't really
But,
go into it. Like you got
but
it.
we know you.
Yeah.
Because this movie to me is so layered. You can go so many levels deep into this movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like even the way it starts off, he's born in reverse. Imagine being born in reverse. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, coming
Living.
out like ass first?
I mean, that's probably how some women do it. You know what I'm saying? And then we wonder why they're on the streets later on. But that's the way they were born. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, wow. First of all, I like this is one of the few movies that I remember. Like you guys, I don't know if you guys do this, but like it hasn't really happened the last few years. But there's always like a good Christmas movie that it comes out Christmas Day, and this was one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
So you mean a movie that's just released around Christmas, not a Christmas movie?
No, no, not a Christmas movie, but typically, it, more likely than not, uh, movies are released either on Christmas Day, if it's like a Wednesday or Friday, and this is one of the ones that I remember. Just like Django came out on Christmas Day as well.
Yeah.
It's
And
one of
I
those
think
movies, and I look forward to stuff like that because it's like during Christmas Day, like after the whole everything, and like between dinner or even after the dinner, people ain't got nothing to do. There's no bars open. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like people are just like, all right, let's go watch a movie. I know it's been a tradition with me. Like I usually take my nephews when I was younger. My older brothers and sister used to take me. So this is one of these movies that I when I looked it up, looking up like who made it, I was like, oh, it came out on Christmas Day. That was
Mhm.
dope.
Hold
How
on,
old is this movie?
this movie is at least 15 years old.
2008. The reason I was looking it up is because like I was talking to my wife and she was like, oh, this is a good David Fincher movie. I was like, David Fincher did not make this. And I was like, oh shit, he did.
Mhm.
He
Yeah.
usually has like a darker like style to him, you know?
Well, I mean, I feel like this movie kind of just the look of it kind of fits within his realm because again, he's done Seven, he's done Panic Room, and then he also did The Social Network. You
Yeah,
know,
like his has a like this is like I understand why this is a Christmas movie. This is like an allegory, but then it's kind of like it wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like ain't nobody dying, ain't nobody like, well,
yeah.
that's it, that's life.
Mm.
Like, at the end of Seven, it wasn't a happy ending. It was like,
Well, Chris, I know since it's your movie you were thankful for, like I don't know
Mhm.
when's the last time you've seen this movie, but after rewatching it, like did you
Mhm.
pull anything new out of it? Like what was your viewing experience like this time around with the movie?
I mean, I've watched it so many times, so I mean, it's even on background noise of me. Like there's certain movies that if I'm scanning TV
Mhm.
and I'll stop and let it play. This is one of them. Gladiator, 300, Forest Gump. Like I'll just let them play in the background because what the hell is that?
Blue
Okay,
pill. No, this is one of Tevin's that he had gotten the bridesmaids.
that was
I
that
want to know
makes it
what
even that makes it even worse.
it's called. Kinky Blues. I just want to taste it to see what the hell he was trying to give the
Oh
bridesmaids.
gosh, that's what I said. That's even worse. No indication from Tevin. That's even worse.
so if you just
Um,
pass out,
yeah.
Oh, it tastes like one of them ices or the ice pops.
A lot of sugar.
it
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Wait, so it doesn't taste like one of those boozy balls, or what is it called? That little thing that I've.
Oh, the
You,
buzz balls. Oh, Chris
yeah,
knows about them buzz balls.
That's a
I've
coffee one.
never looked at those and be like, that looks good. Let me get one of those. It's always like, oh man, what the hell is this for?
Yeah, the coffee was the only one I'll buy if I'm in the mood for it, and it's usually in the morning. Coffee. Right.
In the
You're
morning.
gonna skate. You're gonna
shit.
skate over the fact that it's called booze ball or buzz ball. You're like,
Buzz
yeah,
ball.
this is my morning coffee.
It's coffee flavored,
Yeah. All
But
right, yeah. Well, okay, yeah. What was your
yeah,
experience like?
but this is one of the movies that I'll play over and over on repeat just because it's almost like my favorite movie, which you all know, Big Fish. I always learn something new watching it.
Yeah.
And this movie, to me, like I said, is just layered. It's like so significant, so many different points. Um, we could go levels deep into it, but yeah, I'm thankful for it because just to get straight to the point, there's one part in this movie that stands out to me above so many other parts in the movie, and
Okay.
that's when he breaks down the whole scene of Daisy getting hit by the car,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes through the whole dude about waking up late, the lady It's not getting her jacket, her phone ring, the guy getting the coffee, and he goes to like 15 different scenarios. He said if just one thing would have been different, she'd have never got hit. And you got to think about that in life. It's like it just like I'm sure we all had a shit day where you say, you know what, everything that could have went wrong.
Yeah.
But if one thing would have been different, it would have been different. Just one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that part to me is so significant.
What
You
about
know,
you, Marcos? What was your experience with this movie?
I mean, it's an enjoyable movie. It brings me back of a. It was a period in Brad Pitt's career where he kept doing these bangers. Like, when I say bangers, it was like it had a specific niche to it. Like, do you remember when the Meet Joe Black? This was like along those lines where he did movies like that. That it was like, all right, that he's like tapping into his acting, not
Yeah.
like not doing Ocean's 11, stuff like that, not doing like thrillers or action stuff. Like,
Yeah.
this was during the time where I was like, okay, like he's like showing people like, yeah, I can act.
Yeah, because he did this and like he also did like Tree of Life.
Yep.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little bit removed from his normal stuff that he was doing, because remember, Brad Pitt did a what is it, Troy, and then he did Mr. and Mrs. Smith, all these movies that was kind of like leaning into like, oh, look how I look great, I am an athlete, action guy. But then he understands like, all right, let me switch it up.
but see,
Like,
I feel like Brad Pitt's acting. Like I've never seen a Brad Pitt movie where the acting stood out. It's the story for me. Troy was a good story.
yeah,
I don't
Benjamin
know.
was a good story.
I
Like,
don't
I'm
know
not saying
because
he can't act,
yeah.
but I think the stories bring him out more versus the acting, in my opinion.
Yeah, but
because
it's weird. It's weird because again, watching this movie, like I was, I was wondering if I could, if I was gonna watch it and like see Brad Pitt and not see Benjamin Button, something like that. And
Hmm.
but like his like very subtly, even with the Cajun accent and stuff like that, like it's a very subtle, nuanced performance. He's not trying. He's not going out there trying to steal the scene. He's just trying to live in the moment and within the story. So I actually liked his acting because there was certain times where like you would think, his reactions in a real life would be a little more like energetic and a
Mm.
little
yep.
more like you're reacting a little harder to the scene, but the way he was reacting to certain things, it was like, oh, it's very just small, and you kind of just saw the energy in his face and stuff like that.
Because
Uh,
think about the stuff that he did around this time, which is different than what he saw. So he became really popular when he did Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which was like a year or two right before this. After that he did Babel, which was another like movie that where he acted well. And then I guess he paid the bills with Ocean's 13, and then followed that up with the assassination of Jesse James, and then Burn After Reading, this, and then he did Inglorious Bastards, and then he did Beyond All Boundaries, and then he did what's it called, Tree of Life and Moneyball. So he was definitely on. Well, like I like to call, like, how an actor is like, you know what? Let me be serious for a minute, see
mm.
what awards I can get, and then then I'll do. It's like
You know
either you
what's
get the
funny? I don't think the award winner in this movie was him. I think it was Taraji's character.
yeah, but he was nominated. Like, this is what put
Uh,
him up there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like, I forgot. Like, do you remember Ben Affleck's movie about the journalist, the Jewish journalist?
Was it an
It,
Argo?
yeah, it was one of those turns that you're like, all right, like Ben Affleck is just not doing slop. Like, he's not just doing whatever pays him, whatever
Yeah.
forgettable movie. It's like, all right, they're doing stuff that they want to let we can act. Like, just don't think because we had a couple flops or we're in like these mega budget movies and stuff like that. This is
Well,
what we can do. And then you could tell he did a couple movies. He did a bunch for him, and then he did a bunch to pay the bills. Like, right after this, he did Megamind. Like, come on.
okay.
Like,
well, I mean, but he strikes me as a guy that just likes it. He likes to do stuff that interests him.
Yeah.
He'll do something where it's like, for some people, it's not about like whether it's going to make a lot of money. It's just like, this sounds interesting because this is the same guy, mind you. Again, he's in Benjamin Button. He's in Seven. He's in Moneyball. But he also put on a little, was it gorilla costume, and he was running around in Jackass,
yeah.
like getting beat up and stuff like that. He was the invisible guy in Deadpool too.
Yep. But
Mm.
then he
Yeah.
also did World War Z, which was his passion project. It's like, God damn it! Like the studio killed it. He did 12 Years a Slave, which a lot of people forgot he was in. He was in
I forgot he
Fury
was in
with.
Mm.
Yeah, he was also in Fury, which was really, really good.
Chris,
Like,
I don't know if Chris, did you see that, Chris? 'Cause that
Of
might
course,
be
it's a tank movie. Come on now. Of course,
like, and that's one of the movies that I give a pass to. That I'm like, all right, I don't like these period pieces. Fury was good, and of course, he was in Inglourious Basterds, which is one of my top 10.
Do you just not watch any war movies, or is you only watching Black Hawk Down?
No, I only watch Black Hawk Down. If I watch a war movie, it's really got to get my attention. It's really got to be worth it. It's really got to. I really have to be prepared to watch it.
No, I'm talking about Marcos, because Marcos said he don't watch period movies, and most war movies are period movies.
So I only watch certain like okay, I don't want to like. Here's an example: the movie that oh my God, I forgot the actor, the dude that did the Dark Knight.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale?
No, not the actor, the director.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, you remember the movie that he did about the war, Dunkirk. Like when it's a movie like that like I don't want a movie that I know the outcome. Like, you know what I mean? Like I want him to focus on the story that it's set there. Like, you know, like Inglourious Basterds, right? It was on World War II, but we knew that it was going to take a different take. Like it was like different. It wasn't like how we knew. It's like, yeah, they killed Hitler and all this stuff in this movie theater. It wasn't like, it didn't go beat for beat as what I've read in textbooks. Like I'm a history buff, so that like in terms of like reading it and like as a subject, I don't like mixing it into my entertainment. This is why certain movies that take a different turn in it, like Sisu.
Man, get the fuck out of here! You know, you was probably all about like what was it? Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. That's what you like.
I thought that was good. Like, you know what I mean? Like I ain't trying to watch a movie where I know at the end he's gonna get his brains blown out. Like
I mean, but like when you watch a story that tells the story, like you want to see how they put their spin on it. Like speaking of war, like I feel like Forrest Gump has one of the best war scenes in any movie, even if it's only like maybe 15 minutes.
But you see, that movie was not about the war.
It wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Same with Curious Monday. When he's on the tugboat and they get involved in the war, it's moments like that where it's like it's not a war movie, but I feel like they do the intensity of going through the experience so much better than war movies. If that makes sense.
I can give you that. You know, because they're not focused on it, they can actually, you know, make it like kind of pretty much realistic in the way in the way the intensity feels.
Yeah, it's like a setting. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. Like, okay, and I'm horrible with the movie names. Do you remember the Christopher Pine did a movie that it was him and his brother Rob Banks in Texas.
Robbing banks in Texas.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's not ringing the bell.
It was one of those movies that Jeff Bridges was in it. He played the sheriff, and he was involved in.
It's not Hella High Water, is it?
Yes, Hella High Water.
Okay.
So that movie was good because it told the full story. Like if the whole movie was just about them robbing banks, I would have been like, it was a relationship about the two brothers and their dedication and their love for their family that made them do what they did. Yeah. Like I like movies like that, but it's like if a whole movie is like I hate the concept of a Western. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is a Western movie. Like I didn't like those movies when I was young because to me, like in the back of my brain, they always interrupted good stuff. Like, oh, Saturday cartoons, it's over because they put on this 1940s Western. You know what I mean? Like, it was like you know, like MASH. I never got into MASH because MASH always
was actually good.
Yeah, MASH was good, bro. You just
I never watched it.
They didn't have canepas. That's why you was like,
no. Because think about this. Think about this. When I stayed up late at night and I was waiting for Saturday night main event, they wouldn't show that. They would show MASH.
He's waiting for the cable to get blurry.
He's waiting for Silk Stockings to come on.
No, like you know what I mean. And then it's like I don't know. I'm old. When you didn't have cable, it was like when the radio station used to like go into like random shit. They will play MASH. MASH will be like, all right, we're just gonna put whatever we have there, like guys. And
no, I didn't like MASH growing up. But what kid would like MASH growing up?
It's not a show made for you.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
that's how I think. Like all these, any of these like movies that were like set in a period that it's about that the elephant in the room is the period that they in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like if like, and again, I keep going back to Sisu because I like fucking with you, and also it just keeps
No,
coming to
man,
mind.
you just
Like
love
like
it. Get the fuck out of here. You
like if
no.
Sisu
Yeah,
like if they were
he got a
like
3D printed animated Sisu doll that he sleeps with. I bet you.
I know.
no.
Oh, the
No, but
body
like
pillow
in
that
in,
looks
in
just like him.
Sisu, in Sisu,
The
like if
gold.
they had a situation where it was like he just sat there like, man, Hitler's real bad, and it just folk that they made the whole movie about World War II. It was like literally it was just set in World War II. It wasn't about it. Like, you know what I mean? It just so happens like this is the setup. Like I could deal with a movie like that. But if a whole movie is like it's about like the American War and this is gonna happen. I already know that the Americans got their ass handed to, and the movie's gonna end with a credit be like, and they never made it home. Like, you know what I mean? Like American Sniper, like not American, yeah, American Sniper.
Nah,
Like I don't know what was going on, but then when I like after the fact, I was like, man, if I would have read this story, I would have never watched it
nah,
because
in
you
my
know what was
opinion,
gonna happen
American
at the
Sniper
end.
was the closest told war story to real life.
Oh, American Sniper.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
also met the guy.
Chris Kyle.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Actually, okay. I got a comic book to give you.
that's the only one movie I went and purposely went to go watch just to see how
Yeah.
they told the story. And I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie, I cried at the end just because it was as close to real life as a war movie could be.
Yeah. Well, so, okay.
But
So speaking of real life, okay, this movie deals with something that again that's pretty fantastical, and that's the idea of someone being born old and but then dying as a baby.
mhm,
But if you actually break down the idea of like what a person, a human is like when they're born versus when they're dying, it's other than the look, they're pretty
mhm,
much kind of around the same thing. Like what
yeah,
like how would you guys react if your kid came out looking like a raisin? I mean, they do until you put them in the heating lamp for a half hour. But
yeah.
like, what do you well, like
You gotta-
if you're in their situation?
This
Because
is your movie,
this dude,
Chris.
this dude,
no,
he reacted, and he picked up the baby and left it on a doorstep with $18.
and he
Which
owns
was like, I feel like
he
wasn't
owns
that
the whole
like
buttons
10 grand back then?
No, it was
he,
18
19.
bucks at 1918, 18 bucks.
It was 19.
but okay,
It was.
yeah. And the funny thing is, and this
He
is why I
left
said
him
this
at the
movie's so
porch of a
deep.
nursing home with
No,
18 bucks. It was in November 1918.
okay, but and this is what I'm saying. This is why the movie's so significant because he left them there. But throughout the movie, him and Benjamin lock eyes quite a few times, whether he's parked across the street, whatever. And it's almost like that connection, like I know this person.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But you don't know until you realize who they are. Like even his dad takes him out for a drink, and even though he's an old ass man, he's like what, 12 years old?
yeah. But I mean, he knows. Like, I mean,
Okay.
he told him pretty much who he is, and he
Mhm.
understands. And Benjamin understands who he is in his life. Like, if you're in that scenario, if you're in the scenario of the dad, like, do you vicariously or from a distance keep an eye on your kid being raised?
Well, I think it said a lot about the dad's character because maybe he just didn't. The mom died, if I remember correctly,
Yep.
and he just probably didn't know how to deal with having a baby like that and in his position.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I can't have this around me.
Mhm.
I don't even know what to do with it. Plus,
Yeah.
mom's not here, but I can't completely disappear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I still want to watch it from a distance, and when the time is right, if the time is ever right, then
Yeah.
I'll introduce myself. You know what I'm saying?
So I just looked it up. It's $400 now.
Man,
So
I told you he got the numbers. He got the numbers.
no, because it's like
Take
he
away from
cared
movies,
enough.
man. You make
He
somebody
cared
hate a
enough.
movie.
No. What's that? What happened?
So you make somebody hate a movie. Oh man. So yeah, it was filmed like this, but the shoes he was wearing, they were Stetsons. Like what? What?
No. I'm saying like they made a point. They made a point in the movie to tell you how much money he left because they wanted to let you know, like Sarat said, that he cares somewhat. He could have tossed his motherfucker in a trash can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I'd like to think that he cared but didn't know how to care at that time, being born with a baby that looked like this, which
Yeah.
is where I feel like Taraji's character was so significant and important because she couldn't have kids. She
Yeah.
couldn't even be married. What's his name? Mahershala Ali,
She,
her
she
her beloved Mr. Weathers. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
She thought she couldn't have kids.
Yeah, but that happens later on down the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when she got Benjamin, and even Mahershala's character was like, "Yo, this ain't right. We can't do it." And she was like, "Nah, I'm not letting him go." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even at the end, when his parents die, he's like, "Nah, you're my mama. Like that's not going to change." And there's so
Yeah.
many different parts. Like when he comes in and he's drunk, and she's like, "Benjamin, where were you?" He was like, "Nothing."
So,
Yeah.
do you think?
Hold on. I got a question. Do you think it ever occurred to Benjamin that the way he left Daisy and her daughter was similar to how his dad left him? Like, because he left, but then he was, keeping an eye on them vicariously, like trying to show love without actually like being there for them. Because he would send letters and all, so she just didn't know about it. But like,
Mhm.
do you ever think it ever occurred to him that he was kind of following the same cycle?
That's interesting. I don't think so.
Because I feel like, again, with Benjamin, like he's basically trying to do what is best for what he feels is best for Daisy and the baby.
Mhm.
Because he says, like, yes,
You
you're
gotta
gonna need to get, yeah, you can't raise both of us.
Yeah.
Because he understands the situation. Some people get so caught up in the emotion and like, no, we can do this. We can do this. Like, no matter what happens, we're always gonna we'll be able to pull it out. And he's being honest about the situation. He was like, no, like, there's gonna come to a point where you're gonna it's gonna be like having two children, and like you're not equipped for that.
Yeah.
Or,
I think it also has to be that it was going to be weird. Like you can't tell this little girl little girl that that this young man is your dad, and then he keeps getting younger.
Mhm.
Like he kind of knew that it was a no go. But what I wanted to ask was, do you think Thomas Button, his dad, knew of Queenie and Mr. Weathers before? Like he researched them, or he just got lucky? Because I feel like the fact that he left some bread and the fact that he didn't leave him like in the street, like, what if they could have been like, oh, $18, and then just like
but nah,
stab the kid, like,
I mean, it's a movie. Oh wow, really? No,
like that's a lot of trust he gave into people that he even know.
That's the Puerto Rican version where the kid gets stabbed.
but nah,
It might be. I ain't Puerto Rican. I am Dominican, sir.
we talked about this, like a movie we did a while back with Nick Nolte, where he was the bum, in Philadelphia, whatever. It's like, even though it's a movie,
yeah.
you go through things, you find yourself in positions in life where it's like, what are the odds of this happening?
Yeah.
Like he might have knew it was an old folks' home. He might not have. He might just thought, okay, this is a big house with people. Somebody's gonna take care of this kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just what it was, and it ended up working. And that's my overall reason why I love this movie, because my overall message from front to back is, what I've learned in life is you are where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there, no matter good or bad.
Okay, but okay, I feel like sometimes that is a dangerous.
Oh, it's very dangerous. Sometimes
dangerous
it's
message
stupid.
because and this is maybe just my personal belief, but I'm of the belief that, again, when it comes to religion, spirituality, whatever, like these things place you at the doorstep, but you got to walk through. So there's a semblance of personal responsibility that happens with a lot of these situations. Like, oh yeah, you're supposed to be. Are you supposed to be where you are, or are you in the opportune place where you might be, and then you take advantage of the opportunity?
It depends on how you look at it. Like I said, there's a pro and con to everything. Because let's just say that it was God's will that the baby went to that house, but the person that was supposed to find him was Daisy's grandmother. It's that Taraji found him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, granted, even though they're all in the same house, his life could have been switched. You know what I mean? He could have ended up being Daisy's brother versus being her love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you said about walking through it.
Or could have been both, either way.
It is the South. It is the South.
Because at some point the Daisy's grandmother would have got a nigga up like, that's not your brother.
She cut him under the table.
Yeah, just like, that's not like this. That's not your brother.
Yeah.
No, there is one part I want to ask you guys about this movie that no matter how many times I've seen it, I still don't understand the concept of what they were trying to explain. The
Okay.
dude that got struck by lightning 7 times.
Comic relief.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's all.
I
It's
think
like it's like a little that small little nuance. They just again it's like
The-
that punchline that they just go back to every so often.
Okay, just gives you a break throughout the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's a pretty heavy movie, especially if you're really paying attention. Like the idea that it's basically is it star-crossed lovers? Is it two people destined to be together, through spirit? I don't
Mm.
know, but
Mm.
like it's one of those things where it's like it's such a heavy topic that you kind of need that levity every so often. You sometimes it's someone tripping, sometimes do something, but like just them going back to that same trope.
they.
Did he establish 7 different times? Because I don't remember.
I thought
He
you
says he
watched
was
it.
I think he
no,
said
no,
twice.
but
No, I think he said twice in the street, once on the roof at the mailbox. I don't know if it was a full 7, but
yeah, because I was wondering if by the end of the movie they go through the 7 times he was struck by lightning.
and then see that no, that's one thing I didn't pay attention to.
Yeah,
If they actually counted out 7 times he was struck by lightning.
yeah. How
Well,
like what? Okay, so how much of it do you think is Brad Pitt's performance versus a body double and they just put his head on? I mean, granted, when he's like a little guy, whatever, they'd use a computer graphics to put his head on him. But like,
Mhm.
do you think Brad Pitt is when they get a chance, he's in there and like acting with the makeup on his face?
I want to say maybe after the scene of him learning how to walk, which I
Oh.
thought was funny. Black church. That's all I'm gonna say. Black church. But even that was deep. He's like, sometimes the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
The Lord was like, man, you don't like, because he knew that was a significant moment. He's like, no, you can't take credit for this, old man. Just
Yeah. Oh man. Even when he was praying for Taraji, her insides are all messed up.
Yeah.
Loose here and threw her across the stage. Oh man.
This movie had a bunch of good points, but I think it was his performance. Like honestly, I think towards the end, like he had established so much in the character that you could just simply just show his face. And for 2008, that was pretty decent computer like they did way better than Paul Walker and what's it called? Fast and the Furious, because it looked weird. It was like, is Paul Walker, is he okay? Like, why he look crazy right now?
And I think again, like if you watch this movie and I think there is a scenario where someone like Brad Pitt could overshadow the story, but I think he did a great job with his performance where he kind of just lived in that world and blended it.
And that's what I feel like. I don't feel like the movie was about him. Like even though he was the star of the movie, the movie was still bigger than him.
No, I get it, but I think that's why I think his performance is really good, because he could have easily, like played into the part and really made you focus on him, but he didn't. He didn't really make you focus on him. He kind of let you take in the world that was growing around him, the subtle nuances that he was doing, like showing his age versus in each direction. Like it was interesting, like seeing how he would his facial tics. Like as he's moving, like you can see the way he changes the shape of his mouth at certain times. You'll be like, oh yeah, he's playing older, so he grits his teeth a little more and stuff like that. And as he gets younger, the face softens, but his lips and everything kind of relaxes a little more.
So, do you think? I think he borrowed heavily from Tom Cruise and Forrest Gump. Yeah. Like if you think about
Cruise.
Yeah,
I'm not Tom Hanks.
Okay.
I think that would have been a different movie. That would have been a completely way different.
Forrest would have been doing backflips and drop kicking the bullies.
For real. They run first. I run from nothing.
I think like where people are like, oh, the movie's Forrest Gump, but like you said, it's him being the surrogate audience member.
Yeah.
Like he's living through moments in history and through these characters' lives, but he's kind of like not the influential. Like, you know what I mean? He's always like, it's always like he's not the main part of every scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even though he's in every scene, he's not the main part.
Yeah, it's like even with him, his love affair with Daisy is about her struggle. She was like a better version of Forrest
Jenny.
Gump's Jenny.
Yeah.
Like, Jenny legit to me was a shitty fucking person.
I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
She
I
was a
got my own
shitty
take.
fucking person. I've watched that movie at different ages in my life, and I'm like, fuck,
She,
man.
she's definitely the villain. But when
Yeah.
you look at her back, no, hold on, wait. She's definitely the villain. When you look at her backstory, you understand why she's the villain.
Yeah, but it's like, come on, man. Like,
Because you're hurting the person that
yo,
loves you the
if
most, and
she
not on purpose.
if she literally did some self work and realized that
She did. She was doing cocaine, all kind of shit. She was trying to.
I know.
no, I'm not
Yeah,
talking
she was
about.
trying. She was trying to self-medicate.
If she literally realized that all the shit that life has been happening to her, that she was doing to him or taking advantage of him,
Mm-hmm.
like she had so many chances to redeem herself, and I felt she never redeemed herself in the entire movie.
Nah, bro, I don't know. I don't know if I can agree with
Do
that.
you think she had a great character arc? I just thought that
Yeah.
she popped up every single time he was good.
No, but first of all, he was good the entire time.
But wait, but she popped up on by accident when he's out there giving the speech.
Yeah.
The dude like to drop the F-bomb,
Yeah.
and she comes running through the lake forest.
Yeah.
He didn't go looking for her. She was looking for him. They just happened to be there.
Yeah, I think their spirits brought them to each other at the times in their life when they needed each other most. And sometimes it was happy, sometimes it was sad. I actually think she's a much more redeeming character than Daisy because Daisy had all the opportunity. She done went to Paris and did all this dancing. Like she had everything going for her, and she was still kind of felt like I don't want to say she felt like she was too good for Benjamin, but she was kind of kind of shitty to him.
Like, even when he
But
goes to
also
see her-
Benjamin did not want ultimately end up with her.
no, because I think he doubted himself because of his condition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that was the rule. That was rule number one. Like you remember in Fight Club, he's like this number one rule, and then it's like see rule number one. That's basically, I think that's how he ran his life. Because
let's look at it though. When he meets her after the show with the flowers, and you can tell he still at that moment has age on him, look wise.
Yeah.
But he's becoming a young man. He's like, you know what? I'm sorry, I should have called first. Like, he's in the suit and everything. Like, okay, nah, she's not ready for me. She don't want me. She's doing her thing.
Yeah.
But when they finally meet up, and they're damn near at the same age, that's their time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they go their own ways again.
Yeah, he understands that. Like he understands we can't. This time can't last. So it's finite. So we're gonna.
But he made a choice there. Forrest didn't make choices.
No, but
Jenny was just like, all right, I'm out.
No, but I mean, but Jenny had a very, very traumatic childhood. Like where with her, you could understand. But Daisy, other than hurting her knee, other than hurting her
I
knee,
completely understand. But Jenny, and we could do an entire podcast analyzing her. But Jenny, every time that what she wanted or what she went after fucked up, she needed to pick me up. All of a sudden their paths crossed, dog.
But that's what I'm saying. That's
that man believing that that's his kid and everything. That wasn't his kid.
But look, even come on Forrest Gump, right?
Yeah.
When he's on the bus and he can't find a place to sit because everybody's being mean to him, and that you can sit here if you want. He said it was the sweetest voice he ever heard. Yeah. Somebody was kind to him. Yeah. And he never forgot that, especially being autistic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey man. If I ever help you in a life or death situation and then I treat you like shit for the rest of your life, that doesn't mean that
because you the guy that's gonna help me rob the place, then tell on me. So no, exactly.
Because the story goes so much deeper than that. Yeah. She didn't want to be with him because she felt like she wasn't good enough for him.
Exactly. Her issue wasn't that she was leaving him. It's because of her childhood.
She didn't love herself enough.
Yeah, exactly. She didn't feel like she was worthy of the goodness of Forrest.
When she I don't care what you said. When she was with those hippies, she was in love with that man way more than Forrest. She was not like she was
on drugs.
Cocaine a hell of a drug.
Yeah, exactly. Like she's obviously it's situational. She was around this guy for a long time, but she understood how good of a person Forrest was, and ultimately she didn't feel like she was worthy of someone that good.
Can I throw a flag on the play? call timeout. Tell me, you ain't never had a girl that you was with that you knew either she was too good for you or you was too good for her.
Yeah, dude, it's called Lil Debbie.
It chose it chose to walk away.
Like, hey,
I,
what
I've been there before. I'm
what
so
do you
serious.
boys say? What do you boys say in Kill Bill? What did Bill say? He's like, "This is me at my most. What is it? Misogynistic." So,
Yeah.
like,
No,
hey
no, I'm
man,
just saying as a human being, you never experienced that? Like
dog.
been around somebody that maybe she was just head over heels about you, but you're like, you know what, you're too pure and I'm fucked up. And I don't want to fuck you up. So I
But
gotta walk away from this.
I've never been that person. I've never been that person where I'm like morally
You know,
where I'm a piece of shit like that.
you see the
Like,
hot dogs like you're too good and I'm gonna eat you.
Her name's Glizzy. She was born in the
no, but
Bronx.
like think about it. Think about it. Jenny was the movie version of you trying to get with a girl in high school and then she giving you no play, but then when she is on the third marriage and 3 kids
No. That
and
I don't track that because it's different. It's different. It'd be one thing if she grew up in a nice house and had all the opportunity in the world and she just felt like she was hot shit. She wasn't.
Mm.
She was running. She was running from a life that just was destroying her. And no matter what she did in life, she
They
could
caught up with her.
never. Yeah,
okay,
she
we
could
might not
never make good
agree,
with
and
it.
I probably need to rewatch it to see if I haven't seen that movie more than a decade. I just every time I check in,
Are
I'm
you
like,
serious?
yeah, I'm like, she's
It's
still a piece of shit every
no,
single
it's
time.
TNT
Like,
still plays it. USA plays
because
it.
you see
And none of them
you.
got cable.
Yeah, I think you think she's a piece of shit because of you want somebody as good as Boris to end up with the person he wants. But you're not if you're looking at it from that perspective, I can see that. But at the same time, like you got to understand, like with someone like her, she's just trying to fall in love with herself. She doesn't love herself
I
enough
think
to.
Lieutenant Dan is has the biggest character arc in me in that movie.
One of
I'm not going to say he doesn't, but I wouldn't say the biggest.
yeah.
It's
He
one like
he
I don't
walk
think she
roll
was
and walk.
redeeming. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I digress, but I do think that the character Daisy what was better. I think Benjamin had more control over the situation. And him knowing it's kind of like, okay, I see it like if you have a disease, right? And
Mhm.
you know you have a short lifespan. Like there's been a bunch of movies that's been like the subject of this and didn't do it as good as this. Like you ever seen that movie Fault in Our Stars?
Mm-hmm.
You ever
Yep.
seen that?
Yep.
A really good movie. I don't care if it's a young adult movie, it's really good. Like I think it was the girl. The girl did not want to get close to anybody because she's like, yo, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
And the kid changed her, and then it ended up being Una reversed. He was the one that died before her. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Thank you for
And
ruining the movie. But go
it's
ahead.
You never seen it?
Eh,
This
I
okay.
know of it.
I ain't seek it out, but I did watch it and it was good.
Yeah.
it's one of it's right up there. Like it
Like
was
a walk
it
to
came out
remember.
around the no it came out it came it's similar, but it came out around the time of Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. So
Yeah. Which is
it hit those tones. I
Yeah.
really like that movie, and
Yeah.
at a certain point, I would like to.
Listen, I just think that again, if we ultimately wanted to say that the Daisy character was this good character who was
I don't think
destined
she was
for
perfect,
no,
but she was.
but if she was destined for Benjamin, if you were writing it and okay, it's something that she realized she was destined for him versus just taking advantage of the situation, she would have raised the baby by her own and waited for Benjamin to come back. No, she went and got married with a guy that was driving a what is it? A wood
This
panel
was
station
what?
wagon.
This was what in the in what year was this? In like in 80?
Yeah,
Were women really raising kids alone?
I'm just saying, if she understands that they're meant to be, that's what would have happened. But she didn't. She was just like, I have to take care of myself. I have to take care of my kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, yo, you have to have your kid grow up with
Yeah,
somebody.
but why is that okay for Daisy? But in Jenny's case, it's like, yo, you can't. Nah,
Because I
know
felt
you're messed up.
like
But
Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. I felt like they came up with this decision together when he left and he sold his assets and he was just like, all right, you at this
he
point
done left in the
you're
middle of
not.
the night. He left like he went for some milk and never came back.
I feel like
with the
Like
Jack
it
Daniels.
was more him running from it. And I think at the end she wasn't a perfect character, because at the end the reason that they didn't want to be together, she ended up like violating that, like in a way, like she ended up moving into the to the hospital or wherever the hospice that he was at.
Hmm.
Like
to take
he
care
didn't
of him. To
yeah,
take
Yeah.
care
he
of
didn't
him.
want that. That's why he didn't want to end up with her. He didn't want to be a burden, and she ended up signing up for him to be a burden when he was probably couldn't
And
even like
this,
remember
this
he
is what I'm
was in
saying.
dimension and shit. Like, you
And this is
know?
what I'm saying about the universe. It's like whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen. So even though he thought, you know what, I'm going to be a burden, I don't want no part of you, whatever. But his journals and everything that he was writing growing up, when he went back to the house that he grew up in, there's all we found is this, and your name keeps coming up. And she's like,
Mhm.
okay, I know. So either way, he still ended up being that burden,
Mhm.
but he wasn't a burden because she wouldn't take care of him. So it makes
Yeah.
you wonder, like, if he had stayed with her, you was gonna be there regardless. You just didn't know you was,
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
opinion. You know what I'm saying?
But I think if he was in the right mind, if he didn't go into dementia, which I get, he was aging in reverse, he would have been like, nah. Like he would have maybe set up a fund or something to have like
Man, they had
a nurse.
GoFundMe's in 1980. Come
The-
on.
No, not GoFundMe, but like they established that he has some assets. He would have probably put squirreled money aside to have like a nurse take care of him.
he said he did. Well, not for that. When he
No,
sold everything, he left it to Daisy for the child.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah.
sold
but
his father's company, sold his house, everything,
Yeah.
and you know, yeah.
Like, I get why he did what he did, but at the same time, it's like, he thought he was doing. It's like, okay, and I hate to say it, but it's like it's one of those people that like they run away because they think they're saddling someone else with their own burden. They don't want to be that. Where in
Mhm.
actuality, it's like if you guys are meant to be together, sometimes like, hey, burdens come with life.
Mhm.
We can get through this. You
Mhm.
know.
so let me ask you this. This is a question that kept popping in my head as we're having this conversation. Um, who who is in the right when it comes to the situation? Like, let's say, like a loved one. There's something that's impending that is going to affect their relationship.
Like Thanos coming or something.
No. Like, let's keep it real life. Like let's say, like, you know what, my mom, my dad, my grandfather, they all got dementia at like 70. And then when
Yeah.
I'm with my wife, and then like by like 60 something, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and put myself in a nursing home because I don't want you to deal with this and all this stuff. But then, as soon as things start happening, my wife says, "No, you're my husband," and takes me out. And then I'm at a point that I can't, I'm not in my right mind to say no or whatever. Like,
Mhm.
are you wrong for doing that? Is it a selfish act? Or do you have to respect that person's wishes when they were of right mind sound? Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like if you're a person that has a chronic disease and you're like, yo, or the no resuscitate, like that's a better example. No resuscitate. But then there's a slim chance that medical science is like, well, we could bring him back. And this is what's happening.
Mhm.
Like, do you give them their wishes, or you as the loved one that is of sound mind at that point in time, do you do what you want to do?
I think that's like as we keep going back to Forrest Gump. I think it's just one of those situations where it's like you don't know you're right until you know you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I bring that up saying when he saved Lieutenant Dan and he was like, "You took away my destiny. I was supposed to die out there." And he's mad for years, drinking,
Mhm.
everything else. And then they cross paths again in New York City and ends up being Forrest's first mate, whatever. And it
Yeah.
took him God knows how many years from that wartime that he hated Gump for saving his life to realize, thank you for saving my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like you don't know you're right until you're right.
But
You
bro,
just
that
you just
scene,
make a human decision.
Yeah.
that screenshot that's out there of what's it, Lieutenant Dan in the New Year's, and he's like,
Yeah.
that's a whole
No,
lot.
but the thing is, again, it's again like sometimes you make a decision, and some people you gotta wonder why they're making the decision. You say it's someone is of sound mind, and they're like, okay, they're gonna put themselves in a home to unburden you with the life that they know is impending on them. But it's like to me, that's you making a decision for me. That's not us making a decision together, you know? And I think in that case, it's like in the same way that someone might, pull him out. It's like, hey, don't tell me what I can and can't handle. Like, like if it's that bad and you don't mind being in the home, maybe we'll cross that path when that time comes. We're like, right now, like, don't tell me I can't, I'm not going to be ready to take care of you, because right now I feel like I can and I want to. So like, don't rob us of this time that we could have together because you're feeling sorry for yourself and you want to try to make yourself feel okay. So you're like, I'm just going to remove myself from the situation. I think that's what he did. I think that's what Benjamin did. He's like, he saw what was coming. So he's like, I'm just going to try to remove myself from the situation, not realizing like there's a lot of years here that like you could have fostered this relationship with your wife and your kid to where when that time came, they would have understood.
Yeah.
But do you think it's a selfish act on his part, or was it selfish for her to come back and take care of him when he was a kid, and then revealed to Daisy that to her daughter Caroline that's her dad? Do you think that was kind of selfish? Like, hey man, like you could have told me years ago. Like, like
I don't know.
That's a tough one.
I don't know if she would have understood years ago.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think it was selfish on either end.
Yeah.
But knowing that she's at her hospital bed and her daughter's reading it, shit, I remember all this. I mean, shit, when I found out that my dad was my dad and that I put my story out there, I'm getting hit up from people that came through the house, basically checking up on me and my sister and everything else. Talking about, and my mom's like, nah, these are just my friends, whatever case may be. And then I found out, wait a minute, no, that was my aunt.
Yeah.
Really? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, wow. Like, my whole life was a fucking lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, but like you on the other side, right?
Mhm.
Would you have preferred the ignorance? Because they say ignorance is bliss, or do you
No,
want the hard truth?
No, honestly, as an adult, as a child, I really can't answer that question. But as an adult, give me the hard truth because you give me an option.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me all the information and let me decide whether I want to alienate
I
myself.
don't care how much I'd rather deal with that hurt. I don't know if you ever heard the saying, but truth hurts and lies kill.
But okay, baby Chris, would baby Chris want to know this?
Maybe Chris said
did it.
he just give me my jack and my bottle and I'm good. That's what he said.
But like think about it. Like one of the scenes that like stays with me was Man on the Moon. Remember when Jim Carrey when he went out, and I don't even know if the original character Andy Kaufman did this, but when he went to the healer in Mexico and then he looked down and then he saw that it was fake and he kind of like smiled, but it was kind of like it was like a smile with a lot with disappointment behind it. He's like, fuck, like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, but okay. So look at the scenario where Daisy goes back and starts taking care of him, because this whole time Benjamin, he left because he felt like he was going to be a burden on her.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, she's showing him like, I know you don't understand, but like you were never going to be a burden on me, and I'm letting you know that right now, like that this is how I feel about you. You were never going to be a burden. That's why she said, in his last moments, when she looked at him and she felt like he realized, like he recognized her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, you're still here for me after all these years, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Another favorite part of the movie. Just gotta bring this up when he goes to see the boat captain.
mm-hmm.
He's like, he has Daisy with him. He's like, can you take me out on the water? He was like, what's today? He's like, today's Sunday. Do you know what that means? No. It means I was very drunk last night. So you're drunk every night. Oh yeah, well, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, so like movies like this, like it feels like stories like this come by like once every decade or so. Like, why don't movies that are this elaborate and this has this much depth, like why don't we see them more often? Is it because it's a roll of the dice on whether it's going to make money?
I have a theory on that. I have a theory on that. I think while Chris thinks about it, I think it's one of those situations. It's a combination of that, or the script has been laying around for so long, and people are like, I don't want to make this, or regime changes, and and like studios and stuff like that, and like I don't really follow the script closely, but there's been movies that have come out that were renamed, that used to be something else, that end up being bangers. Like, you know what I mean? Case in point, Sinners.
Yep.
Sinners started off as like a Blade treatment, and
Yeah.
then turned into something else, and then Ryan Coogler said, "Screw it." He changed it and made it to what it was. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and whether you want to think about it or not, that movie wasn't guaranteed to be a hit.
Yeah.
Now he could probably take a shit on a piece of paper and take it to any studio.
Yeah.
But like, it's one of those situations that sometimes if they don't see it the way you see it, that's why I'm a big fan of like passion projects, not vanity projects. Those are very different.
Yeah.
Passion projects, when you're like, yo, this is a good movie. Like, even on TV shows where you see people are making movies and shit like that. Like, you remember The Entourage?
Yeah.
Like, there was even episodes of like, man, I've been trying to make this script for years, and people are like, man, ain't nobody want it. Like, it's a good script, but ain't no studio gonna make that. Like, it's one of those situations. And I think every so often it leaks. Like, when I say it leaks, it becomes what it becomes.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get the push. Like, I know it's a huge tempo movie now, but like as I'm looking over here, Deadpool. Think about that. Hey, think about Deadpool. Like, if it wasn't for him leaking that footage that he made,
but because I met your wife, I would not say nothing disrespectful.
Like, think about that though. Like, if it wasn't for him coming out, like, well, I don't know who did that. I didn't leak it, but then he came out after the fact, like, yeah, it was me. Like 15 years later, like that movie would have never been made.
Yeah. Well, it was such a passion project for him that like when they were doing X-Men Origins Wolverine and they, he heard there was going to be a Deadpool in there, like he signed on for it because he didn't want no one else playing that character.
Yeah. And then you get the reverse of it. Like, for every passion project, like, what was it? Who was this guy? The guy that was in Gangs in New York.
There's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Or it's Fisher. Oh no, okay. I'm thinking King of New York. Never mind.
No. The method actor, the one, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis. Yeah.
He retired. Him and his son developed a script called Ansem, and he came back, and that's probably the worst review movie he's ever had. Like they literally pulled it in like 6 days.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not because it's a bad movie. Like, I was reading up on it, and it was like people didn't understand the script, but it's like, if you're not, once he explains it and explain why he was passionate about it, then you're like, oh, it was a good movie. But it's like, shit doesn't have like hell or high water.
Yeah.
If that movie wasn't well acted, and then it came out at a time where like an Oscar nominations or stuff had done, I don't think that movie would have done well.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I just think that movies like this, I think if a person's really passionate about the story, the money doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if the story's gonna be good, they're gonna make money regardless. And it might be a situation where it's like, I'm not worried about making money at the box office and selling 1 billion in the first week.
Yeah.
But here we are 15 years later and talking about this movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's like, yeah, I made money. I made long money. I didn't make short money.
Yeah. But then here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. Studios don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
Like
movie coming out every 10 minutes.
I mean, in the last 20 years, if you think about it, the movies that come out after Halloween and around Christmas time are for award seasons. Like, you get movies that have a lot more story behind it, have a lot more better acting in it. Like, that it's not like based on something like example, like Anaconda. People are like, what is this? But I think it's gonna be one of those movies that's gonna be like, man, that movie was good and funny because they dropped it during Christmas where nobody expects, like, you know what I mean? Like, like it's going up against what's the Avatar. So it knows it's gonna like get fucking killed.
Yeah.
But they're like,
I
no,
don't
it's
know
gonna be
'cause-
good. People are gonna find it because they bank on it. Like back in the days, they used to have these movies. You remember when there was a blockbuster movie, and then they'll have like a movie for people that don't ever watch blockbuster.
Yeah.
Like,
You
you
just
know,
it's a counter programming. Like,
yeah,
yeah, we got this big movie coming out, so let's put this other little one out. And
Yeah.
then because just some adults don't want to go watch this crazy movie.
yeah.
Yeah. Chris, you about to say something?
Oh, I actually just yawned. You know,
Well, okay. So before we end this episode, Chris, as always, it's question of the week, or as we might change it later to hot,
oh,
hot
snap.
take of the week. What you got for us?
I
Hold
thought
on,
we were
wait,
changing it this week to hot take.
No, we'll go back. But when I come up,
before I get the question of the week, I just want to bring one more part of the movie. The ending where he says, basically saying some people are made to be what they are, and he talks about the boat captain being an artist. Some people are made to be buttons. Some people are made to be mothers. Some people are made to, get struck by lightning.
yeah.
How do you feel about that in real life? Like, I guess when you get to that point where you just realize some people are just made to be what they're made to be, and it's okay. They come
I
to peace with it.
I think it's true because there are certain people who just have a knack for a certain thing. It might, and the thing is, it might not be the thing that they're known for.
Hmm.
Like it
Okay.
might be their hobby on the side, something they just like to do. But sometimes you have some people who like could be known for one thing, but they
Mhm.
just have this knack for knitting or this
Hmm.
knack for woodworking and stuff like that. So they do that on the side because it's their love. It's what they do in order to feel like themselves.
Okay.
I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot of truth to stuff like that.
Hmm.
All
Okay.
right,
So,
so
question
question
of
of
the
the
week.
week.
Now, I forgot about question of the week, so I just thought this up. Boxing or MMA?
Hmm. Like what? As far as popularity or preference?
No, your preference.
Hmm.
I could answer.
Oh, go ahead, Marcos.
No, you go ahead. I mean,
No,
you're
I'm thinking it over right now.
uh
I have my idea.
I think 2025 today's MMA. And let me tell you why.
Hmm.
MMA is in a situation where it's anybody's game. Different names get pushed into the spotlight, and I feel like boxing and to borrow from another, boxing is a lot like wrestling, where although the outcome is not controlled, but who gets to shine is. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like if you're a killer, like, you know what I mean? Like if you're like a dude that's getting it out the mud, and I'm a champion, and I'm like the guy that's like the headliner and everything. And although I am great at what I do, it's been some years since I fought somebody that has that look that you have in your eyes. My management team is gonna avoid you like a plague. And then when you start getting your hunger satiated, and they're gonna avoid you until we have to collide. And then, you know what I mean? Whereas in MMA, the guy that's 4-0 versus the guy that's 25-0, that 4-0 cat could be a superstar by the end of the night because he can knock the brakes out of you, because it's not an individual promoter, is a company that is like, that has, although that is kind of rigged, it's kind of like, all right, we're gonna put you up. Like it could be a happenstance. Like, let's say I am the main eventer, I get hurt, but I was challenging Surratt for his title, and they're like, who could take this match? And they're like, oh, well, Chris has lost his last 5 fights. And then they're like, Chris, you want to do it? And then you beat the brakes out of Surratt, and now all of a sudden you're the world champ.
Hmm.
The company can't do nothing about it. Like now they're gonna be like, oh man, this guy, like, look, you got the Amanda Nunez out of that. Like, you know what I mean? Like she wasn't supposed to be what UFC was pushing, and then she came in and beat the brakes out of everybody.
Yeah.
And they were like, wait a minute, hold on.
I think I prefer boxing over MMA just because I don't want to say it's when you can do everything. There's a lot more, like you say, happenstance. There's a lot more, spontaneity that might come from it. Where I like the technical aspects of seeing someone, break down a fucking match and work their way towards, either knocking someone out or getting a decisive victory at the end. I like that science that goes into watching someone play chess with each other until they can get to the end. I just hate the politics behind it because, like you said, if you have someone who's a cash cow, they're going to milk that cash cow for everything. So a lot of times you don't end up getting the fights that you want to see until it's too late. Whereas in MMA, you get those fights a lot more often. So I think that has more of it. But if I have great MMA or great boxing, I'm probably gonna watch great boxing.
Okay.
And to me, like the difference in and like the caliber of talent, it's like it's crazy. Like somebody you could be like, oh man, like like in their prime, and I know they're in different weight classes, like Triple G versus like Mayweather in their prime.
Yeah.
Like people are gonna be like Triple G will knock him, but then it's like if I know Mayweather, the way he controls matches, he's gonna walk him down and get him frustrated to the point that power, that bang for your buck that he's gonna give you is gonna be neutralized. Yeah. And that's kind of like what happened like when King Ryan faced the dude from Baltimore.
Shakur?
No,
Devin Haney.
No, the dude from Baltimore, the Tank Davis. It was like people were like, "Oh man, Tank Davis got a glass jaw. Like Ryan is gonna knock him out."
Who said Tank got a glass jaw?
But they're saying he's never gotten hit by somebody like Ryan. But then Ryan was fighting his match the first couple rounds, and then all of a sudden Tank was like, "Nope, we're gonna stick to the game plan." And then it's like a dance. Like when he start leading you down that path, you just look silly. Like you know what I mean?
And that's why I think I prefer boxing over MMA. Even though like now I feel like it's all political, it's not what it used to be. I feel like in MMA, like you said, you could be a superstar overnight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And MMA to me is more just fighting. Like no matter if you train jiu-jitsu and karate or wrestling, whatever, you get to go in and showcase what you can do. And yeah, you might do a great takedown, but if somebody catches you with a knee to your forehead while you going in for that dive, it might be a bad day. You know what I'm saying? Versus boxing.
That's what I think.
No, I mean it's fun to watch, but it's just fighting to me. Like you can see that shit on the street.
I don't know. I'm not gonna agree with that, but go ahead.
But what you have like boxing, if you really take that craft and perfect it, because all you got is your arms, your shoulders, your head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what you're using. Like, and I bring up the Canelo Crawford fight. I didn't know much about Crawford. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Canelo fan.
Yep.
But I loved the fight because it was a chess match from front to back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
whoever would have won that fight, I was gonna be happy with.
Yeah.
And the Crawford won. I'm not mad about it because I think he put in a great performance. And I don't think Canelo expected it because there's times when Canelo got hit and just stepped back and looked at it like, oh shit, I ain't see that coming. You know what I'm saying? But it was all skill here. And how can I break this person down?
See, the thing is
in my mind.
So the thing is, I think you get the same thing in MMA, but because MMA is there's so many variables, there's so many different elements you can use that sometimes matches are so fast that you don't get to see it. You don't get to see that preparation because, all of a sudden someone gets knocked out in 30 seconds. And because sometimes it's just like, I don't know, I think because they're shorter fights, sometimes like with the wrestling, for some people, it's harder to pay attention to the technical aspect of it because, for when you're on the ground just rolling, for some people that's just it comes across as boring to them. Whereas if you're a practitioner, you're looking at it like, oh no, they're playing chess right now. They're working around each other.
I think, and maybe I'm lowbrow when it comes to my taste. I just think that boxing has lost the puncher's chance. Like it comes down more to endurance and skill than you just swinging and catching somebody. Like yes, boxers make mistakes, but not the same way an MMA guy. Like you know what I mean? Like MMA, like it is an art form, and it takes technique. But man, when you get mollywopped by a kick or a punch, all that goes out the window. And I think in boxing, and again, I've been watching boxing for a minute. I love Canelo too, but like it was different back when Tyson and the heavyweights were there because it was kind of like, oh, you get hit with one of these, it's a wrap. Like you know what I mean? It's not like and that's what the allure of Tyson was. That's why his versus Jake Paul thing was so big, is because you're like, yo, if Jake Paul gets caught by one of these, like, you know, like Mike was not a technical fighter, as you can see later in his career, but he brought that, like, holy shit, like you know what I mean, like
Tyson was a fighter with skill.
Yeah.
That's what he was. He was a fighter with skill.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even call him a boxer. He was a fighter with skill. He had power and speed, and he just knew how to catch you.
Yeah,
But I don't know, because I saw some of his training stuff and, like, yeah, that dude.
Oh no, I'm not taking away from him. Like, to me,
he's not a pure technician, but definitely he was the perfect combination of speed and power.
Exactly.
And,
Like,
and
he
it's like
in your ribs, and you're like, oh snap! You cock down to go cut that rib, and that fist is already at your face. Like, wait a minute, where that one come from? You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I think boxing is missing. Like, you know,
I think for me, I think I think it's that because people have just become hip to the idea of, like, hey, if I go in this route, like, I can make my money. So it's not about, like, you know, it's not about putting the best fights on camera anymore. So those things are few and far between. So that's why I think it lost a lot of its allure.
Like the Canelo fight, like I knew for a fact, like, based on watching a couple of both of their fights, I was like, unless they get caught with a series of punches, but I was like, I wasn't expecting a haymaker to like win a match for any one of them, because they both take punches. You know what I mean? Like, and there wasn't, like, you got a punch by a heavyweight like Holyfield or Tyson, the match is the boxing match is over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you had to protect yourself. But I feel like the lighter heavyweight guys, like, tanking them, like, you got to get caught with a series of like combos for you to go down. Yes. They ain't no like, you know, won't hit a quitter. But I think in MMA, the way they hit there is different, dog. Like, it doesn't, like, your eyes might roll to the back of your head off of like an elbow or Aaron block. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because I mean, in MMA, it's coming from every direction. So it's like, again, there's a lot more variables. But because of that, you know, I think, again, there's always that with them, they have that puncher's chance. So that's why everybody's waiting. Everybody's waiting to see who can be the next big star or something. They get that moment. But I think, like I said, I think for me, if I see good boxing, like, I'm usually.
But what I don't like, and then you guys can probably comment on that, is the gone here. I mean, here today, gone tomorrow mentality of MMA. Like Izzy, like, you know, the style bender. I think if he didn't lose his back-to-back, I think he had a long career, but like his box office appeal has gone down since he's not any longer undefeated, and that sucks because you can't really make a career off of that. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Same thing you can say for Ronda, and the same thing you can say for McGregor. Once that shininess is off their armor, they're like, all right, we're moving on to somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, because I think because it's so saturated right now, like, everybody's training, like, everybody's like, yeah, the next one up. Yeah. That's the way that's kind of built. Whereas with boxing, like, because they maneuver those careers and really try to, you know, build them up, you know, you had those superstars for years. Anyways, all right, well, that's the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast featuring Marcos. It's your boy Sarat, aka Makazi.
It's your boy Marcos, aka at the Sunset Kid.
And your boy Chris Brown, aka Red Fort Delta. They'll be good out there.
And join us next month, because we are in the holiday season, so let's start bringing out these holiday movies.
And it's your turn.
Yeah, I know. I got one on deck.
Okay.
Yeah, but holiday theme, because, you know, we have I was looking online the other day. I did see a bunch of, you know, holiday, you know, movies that I've never seen before. So,
and for the viewers and listeners, you know, I always participate. I didn't say anything about it before. During Halloween, I do 31 horror movies in 31 days, but for Christmas, or the holiday season, I'm gonna do 25 movies from, you know, the 25 days of Christmas going into December. So if anybody wants to join me on that, you know, I always try to
social media.
I ain't watching shit but movies for the podcast because I'm the Grinch.
Nah, Chris gotta watch his kids. All right, later.
Yeah.
I'm a warrior.